Alright. Hey. What's up? Hey guys, sorry about that. 1 second. I'm trying to figure out why we're not getting desktop audio. We are. Okay, sorry about that, guys. That might have been really loud. Alright, we are getting desktop audio. Alright, so now, oh, the reveal's starting. Sorry, guys. Alright, here we go. Alright, so this is the Call of Duty live stream. Thank you all for watching if you watch this later. And yeah, here we go. We are having some trouble. Why is this lagging so bad, guys? I apologize. I don't know if it's on my end or theirs. I feel like part of it's the keeps trying to change resolution to it. Let's go 720, see if that helps. Yeah, this is better. Sorry about that, guys. Well, I said it was better. Yeah. Yeah. Can't wait for the crossplay. good.
A reimagined experience.
Yes.
Jeff, can you kind of talk to me about what that entails, reimagining this for a new generation of gamers?
Well, it's like I said, you're taking old stuff, you're taking new stuff, and you could maybe say this is like a love letter to Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I like that.
We've sampled stuff from all the different past games. We kind of put little Easter eggs in, and from systems to map stuff to weapons. We really try to cover all the kind of favorite stuff.
Well, how difficult of a balancing act, I guess, is that? Pleasing fans that maybe grew up with this. It was their childhood favorite game in which they put thousands of hours in. Yeah. And then the new generation, which maybe isn't as familiar with the title, and trying to appeal to the new gamers. It's got to be tough, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was a kind of a line we had to toe as we were making this. Is it infinite sprint? Is it cooldown sprint? Is it how far does the slide?
You probably have a million little conversations like that.
So many little things, and how do you kind of know where you're gonna go? So.
Yeah. One of the keys for me is the map design, right? That's something that you kind of touched on a little bit there. But from my experience playing, you've done such a good job of having the close quarter fights, but as well, if you're a fan of sniping, you can still have those long range fights. How hard has that been, just getting the maps themselves?
That's going to let Jeff handle that one.
He's the map guy.
Well, it's tricky. I think, we always make maps that we try to support every playstyle. We have all these guns, and we want to make sure that there's a place for snipers, a place for close quarters. But in recent games, the titles have been more kind of arena shooter-ish, so you can kind of rely on these kind of symmetrical 3-lane maps. But when we're trying to make a realistic environment, and you take that realistic
That first map looked like a level from Modern Warfare 1.
The brain just kind of rejects it and doesn't really feel real. So for us, it's more about freestanding buildings, kind of, and the power positions that those create. And this actually kind of is very similar to how real military moves through places. They take a key location, and it's usually on a crossroad, and it has these sight lines that gives them an advantage. So that's how we it's kind of the backbone to all these maps, and it's really the way TDM actually would work well, because there's no really objective. But once that guy on a third story, pops you, you have a goal in life. You want to go get him, and so we've really built a lot of mechanics around those freestanding buildings.
Secret TDM right there.
Yeah. and do you think, I guess, with this kind of the way you've been looking to design these maps, a lot of talk about the variety of gameplay you're trying to bring to this experience of Modern Warfare. Has that allowed you to reach kind of new heights when you just speak to a variety of gunfights, a variety of action within these maps?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you can even look at our maps from a scales point where we have the gunfight maps, and then we go all the way up to larger player scales. You're going to be playing 20v20 today in one of our battle maps.
Holy hell.
Yeah. And then and then we have a bunch of new mechanics in there, but we also have new ways to play, right? We have the night vision gameplay you saw in the trailer, and that's just a completely different way to engage with Call of Duty, right? Everyone has night vision goggles. They have infrared lasers that they aim with, but anyone else in a night vision goggle set in nods can see that laser, and so you have this cat and mouse gameplay, and we've had a bunch of things in the game that really freshen up the Call of Duty experience.
I'm kind of curious, just from the developer standpoint, because as fans and viewers, you don't see it as much, and we don't either from like your brains. But when you have a franchise that's been along as long as Call of Duty, and it feels like you've tried so many different things, what's the process like to try and find those new tidbits where you can still surprise people?
It's really interesting at the beginning. I have that feeling at the end of each game where I'm like, okay, we put everything into this. What the hell do we do next?
Yeah, man. What do you do next?
But this game we had the opportunity to draw from real military and things that they would do, and that is where like the night vision gameplay stuff came from, and the doors and things like that. We have a big, I guess, a suite of functionality for doors and how you interact with them that really changes up the flow. And you think about it, it's just a door.
But I also think that, when you have a franchise that's been around this long, you got to have so much features and mechanics up in the attic. That was the kind of point of us trying to strip stuff down and really question the stuff that we were putting into it. So every single thing we put into the game, we really looked at, analyzed, tried to make better, or make a better version of that stuff, just to kind of force us to get away from preconceived notions of what Modern Warfare is or Call of Duty is, and just spark new ideas.
That's cool.
And we had a goal with every change we made. We talked about we wanted to add more depth and replayability to each firefight, and that's kind of how we look at each change that we put into the game.
That makes sense. And obviously, when you have a franchise that's been around for so long, you have fan favorite weapons, I'm sure, and maybe some new weapons. And that's the one thing from the trailer and playing. There's a lot of variety, a lot of unique different weapons in the game.
Yeah, we have a bunch of classic guns. We have a bunch of new ones, like standard issue guns that the military is using now, and that's how we stay relatable, modern, authentic. And we'll dig into it in a little bit with the gunsmith stuff, but we also strip continuity and consistency was one, right? We
I'm
wanted,
sorry, guys.
the guns that you're using in the campaign to feel just like they did in multiplayer and in Spec Ops. And then when you're talking about progression, we didn't want, people to be like, I'm a Spec Ops player, or I'm a multiplayer, MP player, or I'm a campaign player. We wanted you to be a Modern Warfare player. And so when you're playing with your weapons in Spec Ops and you're actually progressing through Gunsmith and unlocking attachments, that correlates or translates right back over into
That's very cool.
multiplayer.
That's awesome. Very, very cool. I like that a lot. And it's worth mentioning. So one thing that we found out yesterday, there's no season pass this year. How is that going to work?
It's going to work great.
It's going to be awesome. I like that.
Well, that's the big thing, right? Everybody, in previous games, you've kind of gotten the map pack here, and he's gotten the other one.
Right,
everybody just starts kind of deviating. We want to keep everybody together. We want that content to be there for everybody, and continue it on through seasons as we go.
And when you say that for everyone, you mean free?
Yeah.
It's completely free.
Free content. Yes.
I like that.
Free.
For everyone.
Free for everybody. That is awesome.
No, that is fantastic to hear. But no, it's been fantastic. You guys aren't off the hook quite yet. It's been great kind of diving into the high-level philosophies of stuff, but to kind of show more of the in-game and how stuff's going to play out, we want to get into Creative Class. I'm going to introduce Ashton Williams. She's going to be with us from Infinity Ward as well. Ashton, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm super. I am doing absolutely fantastic today. I'm very excited for a glorious day of Modern Warfare.
I mean, I'm surrounded by streamers. I got Doc to my right over here.
Hey,
We're showing multiplayer.
You've got Courage close to you, though, and he's one of the loudest human beings on the planet, so I'm hoping that you're going to be able to get through. Hey, Jack, what's up, buddy? I don't know who thought it was a good idea to put him up front. I thought he'd be like in the back pocket, like out deep.
We're going to hear him all today. But Ashton, I want to get to business. Obviously, the Creative Class system, the operators, I think that's the first thing you have to decide, right?
Yes, I mean, the operators are purely to make you feel like a badass when you get into the game. So when you first load up, you'll see we've got back to the factions. So we've got the Coalition, respectively, on the west and the Allegiance on the east. And so you can kind of see my default kind of strike team here. And as you go in and actually select your operator, you can get a little... And this, I mean, obviously we have some stuff locked here, but I'm gonna roll.
Now that guy looks like a badass.
D-Day.
They all look pretty badass. I like Zane personally.
Yeah. So my two favorites, Zane.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, look, he's got a tactical poncho.
Is that what that's called?
That's it. Yeah. Before I get yelled at by Joel, it's not a cape.
It's not a cape.
It's not a cape.
Not a cape. Tactical poncho. But moving forward from operators, the actual Creative Class system, this is where things get really, really interesting to me because the first thing to note. Pick 10 is no more.
Yeah. Yeah, we wanted to keep it simple, and as Jeff said, we wanted to kind of move our complexity into Gunsmith and keep the front, like, if you want to have a tactical, you always have a tactical, you always have a lethal, you're always ready for that.
Yeah, we're just trying to pick where the complexity is, and so we're not asking too much of the player. We want them to kind of really dig into the weapon and focus on that. So.
Well, where a lot of the customizable options comes is the Gunsmith, and Ashton's going to hop in there for us. So this is new, and
awesome.
This is wild, and this is awesome. Can you guys kind of talk to me about what is special and very cool about the new Gunsmith feature?
Well, I mean, early on, we really kind of decided that, or realized that your weapon is the main character in MP, and it's what you use to interact with our world, and so we kind of just put all our chips in on this system. We had to convince the studio of this crazy endeavor, and we're averaging 30 to 60 attachments per weapon.
Yeah.
The 30 is on the pistols. It's a little harder to scrape by with some with all these attachments, but you just use the weapon and they unlock.
And to clarify, for example, if you were to pick the AK-47, right, you can change that. Like, for example, you take the stock away, all of a sudden you have the AK-74U.
Actually, you can do a caliber change, short barrel, and get the AK-74U, and then you can actually do a drum mag, long barrel, muzzle brake, like ACOG, and make more of an RPD. Like, you can really, like, the guns are really flexible.
Well, Ashton, what have you been building over there? What's your go-to?
I mean, I'm an AK player, or an AR player. I mean, we do have an AK on here. So I'm just making kind of a newbie class.
Ashton, jump to that pistol that you have on that loadout, and then go into Gunsmith and then toggle it so we can rotate it around.
Oh, there it is.
This is the sexy shot.
Yeah.
And one thing as well that
That's an awesome pistol.
I'm not sure if people at home actually caught, but you actually have perks on the guns as well now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that's kind of we kind of wanted a little get out of jail free card where we didn't have to put a physical attachment on everything, but you'll find a lot of fire select stuff in there, caliber changes. And
Yeah, with things that we don't want to make something up, right? Like here's this knob on the side of the gun and it does this. So we wanted to have some things that were functional that weren't represented, but everything else, all the other slots, every piece is there, and we actually built all of the functionality based on real life, how it would affect the gun.
I feel like I'm gonna be like Tony Stark at Dask. The stuff that it looks like I'm gonna be able to do with this, like just endless hours of customizing and finding the best setup, what you really like to use. It's sensational stuff. But I do want to chat then a little bit kind of about tacticals and lethals. So you mentioned when it was going away from the Pick-10, one of the core things you wanted here was to make sure you had that lethal and tactical. We'll start off in the lethal side of things. It looks like mostly fan favorites from the overall series.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
the Thermite's a new one. Yeah, the Thermite's a good one because we have vehicles in the play space, right? You saw in the trailer we have that light tank, and like the Thermite's great. It's a fun tool. Throws kind of like a throwing knife.
That looked painful.
And it sticks, but it burns right through vehicles, so it's a great counter to that.
Try to land one on a chopper that flies by.
Yeah.
You said that with a smile, like you've done that.
You can.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh wow! And then moving forward towards tacticals, I know you have a fan favorite one here. It's what the snapshot grenade. How do you even come up with this idea of a snapshot grenade?
This was a funny story. It's actually my son got a toy. It was like a little ball, disco ball with a stick and 2 blades, and it actually will sense the ground and not land, so it just kind of floats there. I actually the next morning ran and kind of snuck in and did a tactical door breaching. We'll talk about it. I threw it into Joel's office, freaked him out, and said, "Hey, let's do this." And so it actually goes in. It flies up and kind of takes a snapshot of the room and does thermal imaging.
Yeah.
And this is kind of an evolution of the concussion grenade giving you those hit markers.
Yeah.
So it just gives you that quick read.
That's
really
awesome.
Cool.
That is awesome. And then what do we have as well? Let's talk about the perks. So perks are obviously back in the game. You talked about perks on weapons. This will be more of your standard perks. And double time, one of the new ones, because there's some changes right to the sprint options within Modern Warfare, correct?
Yeah. So what double time does? Yeah, there is a big change. Double time. Early on we were like, do we do unlimited sprint? Do we do sprint with a cooldown? And in the end, we ended up with unlimited sprint. Feels good. It's user friendly. But we still wanted that kind of like tactical boost, that way to get from one piece of cover to another really, really fast. And so we added a thing called tactical sprint.
Okay.
And if you're moving forward and you click the stick twice, your gun actually comes up to signify that you're not engaging in combat. You're just sprinting. It allows you to move really fast for a short amount of time. And then
it's a risk reward, right?
It's actually the oh shit button.
Yeah.
Gotta go fast. Just run away. But kind of moving forward from perks, the thing that excites me the most, kill streaks.
Yes.
They have returned for Modern Warfare, and there's a whole different host of them here, and some of them very, very exciting. Of course, the Juggernaut we saw in the trailer.
Yes.
That is badass. And I think you guys in rehearsal were telling me that there's like music that plays as well when you're in the Juggernaut suit?
Yeah, so when you get the Juggernaut suit, you hear metal music in your
that's
ears.
just cool.
And it's just like,
That's just cool.
such a fun kill streak. It's just your moment to just be like, F you, everybody.
Yeah. Well, that's part of why I love that kill streaks were back. Like, when I get on COD, I want to go in, I want to dominate. It's about me dropping stats, dropping numbers, earning streaks, and this is one that'll be fun.
There's actually a funny thing. This actually plays in 3D space, so it'll sound like somebody's listening to like music out of headphones.
Yeah.
So you actually
that's
be
cool.
able to hear like the music coming out.
That's so cool. I love that. And then
That's
the other
awesome.
one as well that we wanted to touch on was we saw it again in the trailer. Is like the tank.
Yeah, the light tank, the IAV. And this was another thing we pushed for to get kill streaks into the play space, and this is a cooperative kill streak. So one player mans the tank and the main cannon, and another player's up on top manning the 50 cal.
Okay, so you need
And some of our bigger maps you can play
These
this.
are only on some of the maps, and if you have it equipped, then we on a smaller map we'll swap you out with a smaller one we call the Wheelson.
Yeah.
That one's really scary.
I like the big one the best.
Yeah.
In the trailer, that did some serious work.
You like to go big, Ben?
Absolutely, of course, man. You know that.
Oh, I'm going to dominate on this game. I've got a feeling. That is going to be so fun. But, all right, it's been very cool to have Ashton kind of showing us through the actual setup of it, but I'd love to actually hop into a game if we could and talk through some of the action, some of the new features within the actual game. I believe we're going to be hopping into headquarters is what we're going to start things off with.
It returns!
Yes,
You brought headquarters back!
Yeah.
Well, with all this work in the kind of freestanding buildings, and we'll talk about it in some mechanics. We have all these doors and stuff. Being able to defend a interior space gives us that kind of Black Hawk Down, last man standing, because with headquarters, of course, the defending team doesn't respawn. So it's down to we show you how many are left, and it gets really high tension.
Before we dive too much into the
exit.
new tactics and elements in the game, can we just talk about how goddamn
really cool.
beautiful it is? I mean, the big push before this, it's a new engine, right? Can you kind of talk me through what goes into that? Like, what is going to stand out to the new player that gets Modern Warfare?
I mean, we use a new technique called photogrammetry, and what we do is a lot of the art in our game is actually scanned, 3D scanned from real-world objects. We go like our.
You keep bringing me closer to Tony Stark stuff every time you come up with these things.
It's crazy. The whole process has changed, right? Like artists would sit in a room and they'd art a character. Now we have whole, I guess, wardrobes that people wear, and like people drive along the road and they find like a burnout car and they're like, "We found it. This is awesome. Come here, bring the cameras."
Yeah,
That's so
seriously.
cool.
Yeah, we'll take gear and we'll actually throw it in a pool for a while,
Yeah.
so it gets like worn and beat up, and then we'll scan it so it looks more grounded and real.
Yeah.
Wow.
And a lot of that did it go into, we touched on a little bit earlier, like the realistic
That's so
environments. Was
cool.
that part of the process as well, or how did you guys get in to make these look so realistic and so awesome?
Yeah, it's actually scanning real world things. We scanned old burnt out cars, these little rubble piles, and we kind of have to work that in. And it was actually a big task for the art department to kind of have
bet
this
it was,
new
yeah.
workflow.
Hey, we got
Oh man, Posky. We're doing
all these
so well.
pictures. You guys are now have to create all of this.
Yeah. So that took a little while for us to kind of get up and kind
I'm sorry guys, I might have to
of
drive it
used
down
to that system and really get rolling.
The game looks, as maybe said, absolutely beautiful.
Oh, Ashton,
And
come on.
one of the things I do want to
Ashton, your job's on the line here, just FYI.
Yeah, we're gonna have to drive a 480. I'm so sorry guys. Twitch is just not working right now.
It will actually swap out next time you die.
Okay.
You can swap out any weapons. Early on, we were kind of unlocking attachments really fast.
Right,
And we
right.
found it really fun to just unlock a new attachment, put it on, and go.
I was going to ask where that came from, kind of that idea, like where that started.
It was just we ramped up the earn rate on attachments, and we just kind of wanted to test it in game, and it just was this kind of cool, like I can hot swap things out.
It feels like there's just like a weapon playground now, like between the gunsmith and the game. Like it's nuts.
One thing we didn't mention when we were going through the creative classes is field orders. I saw Ashton actually got the field orders. Do you want
Field
to
upgrades.
talk, sorry, field upgrades. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what they are and how you came to bringing that into the game?
Sure, go.
Yeah, so we like the idea of a reward that players got kind of regularly, but we didn't want it to be like this kind of like I win button. Like, okay, it's super weapon clock.
I got this.
And
I win now.
We looked for things that would help players support their team for the most part. It's not true for everything, but we have like the tactical cover.
Okay.
We have the trophy system. The tactical cover you can actually mount on with our new mount mechanic. So you can mount on the top of cover. The side gives you a significant recoil bonus. And then we actually, at the beginning of the game, we let you have one field upgrade, right? And you start working through them, and you have that feel like we get to use it. And then at the end, we unlocked a pro functionality for that lets you bring in two. And so in the moment, in the match, you get to choose between these two. And so you might have an offensive field upgrade, like say a scout drone that goes up and actually scouts for your team to scout an objective, or you might have a trophy system. And so in the moment, you're like, I'm in headquarters. Am I defending a point or assaulting a point? Let me choose.
It gives you that variation dependent on what's happening.
Yeah,
in the game.
and tactical insertion has returned.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's also on a cooldown in there. There's a bunch of different stuff. Funny little trick. If your buddy, and this takes teamwork, if your buddy puts out a recon drone, you can throw C4 on it.
Stop.
Yeah.
You can finish the rest of it.
Yeah. You can
That's awesome.
Put two and two together.
No, that sounds epic. And
We have to get our chemistry.
Oh no! What's going to happen is I'm going to put the C4 on, and then you're going to fly it into me. And then,
Probably, and then we're both going to die.
well, can we talk about some of
We'll
the maybe new combat mechanics that are going to be within this? There's different stuff you talked about. I kind of want to talk about the doors a little bit because I remember the first time when I was first hearing about it because I hit up. I think I was talking to somebody at Infinity Ward. I'm like, "Can you tell me like some of the new stuff for the game?" He just looks at me and goes, "Doors." And I was
Doors.
like, "What? What?" He's just like, "Doors." And I was like, all right. But there is a very new feature that's very interesting and provides some kind of wild circumstances within gunfights. Can you talk to me about the changes to doors within Modern Warfare?
Yeah, so we early on we put doors in, right, and it let players kind of like pause a firefight. We're like, that's kind of cool, but they felt really, really basic. So we started to layer in kind of this experience, these new features. So we have a peek mechanic that lets you saw it in the trailer, open a door slightly, throw a tactical in, and then you can melee the door, go in and clear them out. And then we did some breaching, and we're like, okay, what if explosives just open doors? So players can either throw C4, clacker the door open, or they can cook a grenade. And then we had a bunch of players, whining about like, it's affecting the flow of the map. Like, this isn't how the map's built. And so we actually allow you to sprint through doors. So we have this kind of like suite of functionality around doors.
So you can be sneaky, or you can just be loud.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
exactly.
it's actually funny on this map on SD. One of the bomb sites is in this apartment building around the corner, and and you can actually stack guys up on a double door. You can put a sniper pretty far back,
Okay.
and either they can do it or you can throw the nade from across the map, and the concussion will open the doors. You can snipe the guy that's probably going to be camping in the
that's
back,
elite.
and everybody can kind of go in, and it's really fun.
I like that a lot. And of course, we saw Ashton doing a little bit of weapon mounting as well.
Yeah.
But it's really kind of more specific. It isn't necessarily just like leaning.
Yeah, we didn't want the kind of like head glitchy kind of scenarios you get from like a lean anywhere mechanic, right? We didn't want those sliver shots. And so, but we really like the idea of bracing your weapon on surfaces. When we talk to soldiers, that's what they do. You're carrying a big heavy gun. You want to stabilize that gun, or
Sure.
Getting tired.
yeah. Those guns are actually they're pretty heavy.
So, no, there's a perfect example.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
Ashton, you're on point. Thank you, Ashton.
You've been on point. You're going to get to keep your job. You've been good enough that
I hope so.
I've been impressed with what you've been able to do, but thank you so much for walking us through the creative class, showing us some of the combat mechanics during the game. Thank you for coming out. Thank you so much, Ashton. We appreciate you coming through.
One more thing we should also point out that is for development for the past 2 years, we've always had this outline around squad mates, and it actually was broken in this build. But it's really important for our teammate awareness of spatial awareness of where they are. That didn't make this build, but we'll be putting out some 4K footage of gameplay after. It'll be in there. It'll also be in the beta.
Awesome.
So.
Like that a lot.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate you coming in, kind of talking high level about some of the great mechanics within Modern Warfare. Anything you want to say, maybe to your coworkers, fans, before you head out?
Yeah, we would like to say that we're lucky enough to be the ones up here kind of presenting this game, but there's a whole studio of people that really put their heart and soul into this game, and it really means a lot to us. So thanks for checking it out, and hopefully everybody has a good time.
Honestly, thank you for joining us as well. The game we played, it's fantastic. Looks brilliant as well. You've done a really good job. Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys.
All right, Joe, Jeff, thanks a lot. But guys, before we get further into the show, we have a lot more to show you. Upcoming, we are going to show you the Dark Edition coming for Modern Warfare. Let's take a look.
The Dark Edition.
Joel, you're my favorite person.
Those are so cool. Oh my god, do I buy the Dark Edition? I shouldn't.
Hello and
but
welcome
I want
back. How awesome do we look?
I'm gonna be honest.
Ben, how awesome do we look?
These are actual night vision goggles, and I need everyone at home to realize.
When I was a kid,
these are the real thing. These work.
I wanted for Christmas for years of my life to have night vision goggles, and now
These are amazing.
thank you so much to Joel Emsley, who
All
has
your
joined
dreams
us.
can come true now.
I have wanted these since a child, and you have made this a reality.
Those
I
are
am
so cool.
You never have to be
excited.
afraid of the dark unless your enemies have these.
I just, Joel, I need you to realize I'm taking this home with me. I
Okay.
need you to-
Or-
is that okay with you?
We'll be all right.
I don't care if it is okay with you. I'm putting one of they're coming with me.
They look great on you guys. It's a great accessory.
Does that look badass?
It puts the entire ensemble together.
How did
You look tactical.
You don't typically see somebody in a button down in night vision. Now you have.
You have to dress it up a little bit, dude.
Well, you talk to me a little bit about your role at Infinity Ward with the upcoming Modern Warfare.
Yeah, I'm the studio art director, and long ago when we did Modern Warfare 2, we did night vision goggles, and that was like almost 10 years ago. So when we went back to reimagine Modern Warfare, we knew that night vision was going to play a big role, and we decided to go after this again and see what we could do now. 10 years later, you can the tech is just crazy. These things are incredibly functional. We designed them to be our own part of our own universe. The labels on here are from a manufacturer that exists in the Modern Warfare universe. It's like a XRK it's a weapons manufacturer that does optics and stuff and gunsmiths. So it all ties together. We put it in the game. You see them wearing. Captain Price is actually wearing these. They're all over the place. And then we took them into the real world and made them work.
Because obviously the night versions of the maps, that's where these actually come into play, and that's what you're seeing here. I'm just so impressed that you actually managed to make these. How did that process even begin? How do you even say, all right, we're gonna make night vision goggles? Yep, that's what we're gonna do. How does it start?
It was fun. I mean, you start with an idea, and Nick Levisis is the designer at Infinity Ward, just came up with a design, modeled them out, handed them off to that was the design phase for the physical. And then we
actually handed off to Jeremy Thurman, one of our artists, and he actually took that version and put it in the game. So it kind of went two ways, went into the universe of the game, and it went out into the real world. So
Because
cool.
we should say that the Dark Edition, you get
Yes. So that
you actually get
Just funny about what's in there.
we were doing rehearsals yesterday, and like
Yeah.
we're in it, and like we're going through the script, and I'm like, we're talking a lot about these night vision goggles. I'm like, these are so
It's cool,
cool, but like, what does this come into play for the Dark Edition? Then you're like, oh, you get them. And I was like, what?
Yeah, it's a whole basically, almost a collector's edition.
Look at this! Like, this has
Yeah,
got to
a lot
be
of great stuff.
This has got to be the coolest edition of a game ever. It comes with night vision goggles.
and I want to point out that
there's a history in here too.
I was about to say that
Characters,
the operators, if I'm not mistaken, the all gillied up pack and even all of them, that's some old school operators right there.
We went back in the archives. The original ghillie suit was made by Emilio Cuesta. And I phoned him up and I said, do you have the ghillie suit that you made for Call of Duty 4? And he says, yeah, I got it. And I'm like, can you send it to us?
Oh, that is so cool.
Let's put that in the game. And then the Crew Expendable, All Gillied Up, and Warpig are they're all pulled from Call of Duty 4. All the original props who went into the warehouses and got that stuff going.
So cool.
It's pretty cool to bring them into this game.
That is absolutely
Yeah, no, I think pretty cool is putting it lightly. This is one of the more awesome things I've seen. I'm not kidding. This is coming with me, and I'm going to wear it
Now
everywhere.
you can hunt varmints in your
Imagine,
backyard.
I'm gonna show. I'm just gonna walk up to like a McDonald's drive-through with this on my head. Like, I'll take 2 double cheeseburgers.
And for safety,
okay.
they fit on tactical helmets and all that good stuff. So they're pretty versatile and they work great. They have a short range and a long range setting.
That's incredible.
Automatically, we'll switch to night vision. It'll pick up light, all that good stuff.
Well, and you saw at the bottom of your screen for just a moment there, but you can pre-order now at CallOfDuty.com. So if you want to get the Dark Edition, if you want to have night vision goggles and be as cool as Ben and I just were, you can do it.
I can't wait.
CallOfDuty.com.
Stealing these or permanently borrowing, Joel. Hopefully that's good.
Yeah, I think you can get away with it. If you run fast after this, those guys won't catch you.
I'm not very fast. I am not very fast. But this is awesome. This is very cool to see in the Dark Edition. Obviously amazing. Thank you so much for the insight on what went into kind of bringing these into the game and into the Dark Edition. But thank you, Joel, for
Right on.
joining
Thanks
us.
for having me.
Very cool. Thank you for designing these. And I do, as we say farewell to Joe, I kind of want to recap what we've been discussing in case you're just joining us. Let's go through sort of a quick rundown of everything we've just seen and discussed so far. So if you didn't see the trailer, you got to check it out immediately on YouTube. Also, for the multiplayer open beta, that is coming later this year, this fall. It's going to have crossplay. It's going to be incredible. Ben, we're going to spend a lot of time in the open beta.
I can't wait. And as you mentioned, crossplay for the open beta, that is going to be fantastic. We also talked a little bit about Gunsmith, all kinds of customizable weapons, as well as a ton of new maps.
And there's going to be an ongoing stream of free updates. So no more DLC. Free content following the launch this fall, which I think everybody is very pleased about. That's awesome to see out of Infinity Ward and the next upcoming title for Call of Duty. And then the Dark Edition, which we just showed you. It comes with a set of night vision goggles, which we have in front of us. Look at these puppies. Pre-orders are live. You can get hooked up at callofduty.com. But we're moments away from the gameplay. So what this is all about, obviously, we wanted to have some time with the developers talking about the game and everything we're excited about and kind of where their thought process was behind the development of this. But we have, 36 streamers here from across the world.
Yes.
That they're going to be throwing down on Modern Warfare.
Yes, some our close friends who I personally can't wait to roast. But, I mean, it's going to be insane. We talked a little bit about crossplay, obviously, and we'll see that. We'll see that as well. A couple of guys playing on PC, a couple of guys playing on console.
But first up, how we're going to show it off is going to be 6v6 gameplay. So we're going to see 4 new maps in a variety of modes, along with a special night version of one of those maps. Later, we're going to ramp things up with a couple of rounds of 10 versus 10. And the ramping up ain't stopping. How do you feel about 20 versus 20? It is going down. We'll get into a couple rounds of serious team deathmatch on the large scale with 20v20. And we'll wrap it all up by showing off the gunfight mode with a bit of friendly competition in a 2v2 exhibition bracket. So yes, it's friendly. These guys, they know each other, respect each other. But to wrap up the stream, they're going to be going at it, Ben.
It's going to be spicy. You guys are going to want to be right here on the Call of Duty channel, where we're going to be cherry picking the most awesome gameplay from all of our 36 streams. You're going to see the best of all the action right here. Trust me, this is the place to be.
It absolutely is. But before we get into that gameplay, the final bit of business I do want to get to is on a more serious note. The gameplay is incredibly important, but we would like to introduce you to a vital and inspiring charity that's helped veterans secure a high-quality job after their military service, and that is the Call of Duty Endowment. Endowment. We're finding a high-paying, fulfilling job once they leave the service. It's a huge challenge for vets and their families. The Call of Duty Endowment has funded the placement. It's been more than 60,000 veterans since it was funded in 2009.
Yeah, it's a lot. And their current goal is getting 100,000 veterans back to work by 2024, and it can only happen if the Call of Duty community helps as well.
And every dollar you donate to the Call of Duty Endowment goes towards helping vets in both the U.S. and the U.K., Ben.
Yep, that's also very, very important. And now you have to love it. This dollar, every single dollar, 100% of your donations goes directly to endowment grantees. Everything directly to them.
And this is a tangible way to say thank you to our servicemen and women for their service. You can find more ways to help out at callofdutyendowment.org/help and follow them on Instagram at Call of Duty Endowment. But it's a fantastic cause. If you can be involved, please do. Yeah. But this is how the Call of Duty Endowment works, by getting our vets to work. Let's take a closer look at this amazing organization and their mission. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the official launch of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. We're showing off multiplayer for the first time, and Ben, so far it has been wondrous.
Oh, it's been great. It's been great. Obviously, speaking to the developers is massive, gives us some insight, maybe some extra tips and tricks that hopefully some of our streamers have taken note of, because we're going to be critiquing their gameplay from now on.
Yeah, so this is where we get into the big chunk of the show. This is where we're going to have all these streamers out here playing the game. We're going to hop to various modes, and to join us to kind of break down the action, talk through the gameplay, we've got Joey Merc DeLuca and Anthony Nameless Wheeler. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling amazing. I mean, we're here at the multiplayer reveal. It's new Call of Duty. It's the most exciting part of the year for me. I love it.
This is, yeah, I'm with Ben. Like, it's cool to, as much as I'm excited to see the players play, it's really cool to hear from the developers kind of there. It's hard, man. Like, when we're talking with them, it's like you've been making these games for so many years, like finding the new things, the way to change things up, the new maps, the new guns. It was really cool to hear the insight from Joe and Jeff. But I got to feel for you guys. You got a little bit of hands-on with the game, but are you guys pumped to kind of see these guys give it a shot?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great players here. I can't wait to see how all the gun plays out, right? There's just so many new features that we're going to see here today, and I just can't wait to see it live in action. It's going to be a ton of fun.
So I'm mostly excited to see the fails. I'm going to be.
Well, honestly, yeah, we love a good fail every now and then. Yeah, Maven's mishaps, right? That's what they called it.
I have a lot of those because am I the worst player on this desk?
Oh, probably. Maybe Ben.
What? Disrespect me like that.
I had to throw you under the bus.
Wow. But no, we're going to see a wide array of maps. We're going to see a lot of different modes throughout the course of this. And basically, it's 36 streamers, and we'll kind of be hopping from POV to POV. So obviously, we're not going to be able to capture every single moment, but we're going to show off the best of the best. And like we said earlier, it's going to kind of end in that bracket play, which should be interesting.
I think we all have an idea who the best players here are going to be, and they're the ones that we're probably going to spend the majority of our time watching.
True. Is there anyone that stands out?
Shroud, instantly.
Has to be Shroud.
Yeah.
Right?
He's just so good.
Also, we got Courage. We got Courage here. Want to give Courage some love.
I think Teep as well. Obviously, Teep, former professional Call of Duty player. We're going to be, seeing how he does in the 2 versus 2.
Well, it's not just going to be us. So we're going to be on the desk kind of breaking down the action and talking through things. We've also got a couple folks with us to talk to the players and go through it. First up, it's going to be our pal, Christine Leahy. How you doing?
I'm good, Maven. How are you?
I have a lot of energy, which is a problem sometimes, but I'm doing well.
Energy is never a bad thing. I'm so excited to be here, and I'm really excited to meet you, Kitty Plays. I haven't met you yet. I see you're having a lot of conversations. You're talking a lot with your fans right now on your stream. What are you most excited about that you saw so far?
I think I'm excited for the Noob Tube to be back. That was one of my favorite guns that I played with in the past in like middle and high school. So it's definitely a nice thing to have to get those easy eliminations, and I'm looking forward to using it today.
We were just talking, actually. You play with a lot of celebrities, a lot of traditional sports athletes. Who has been the best player you faced off against in Call of Duty?
In Call of Duty? Oh, I'm not sure. I haven't played a lot of celebrities in Call of Duty yet. It's been in other games, but...
well, we got to get them on it. Who would you want to play in Call of Duty?
I think I would like to play against Baker Mayfield, because I know he's a big COD, Halo, Fortnite fan, so I'd love to play against him in this game.
Got to get him over to Call of Duty. Well, thank you so much. I'm excited to see you play.
I'm excited to play. Thank you.
Maven, back to you.
Thank you so much, Christine. And Joe, you're a Browns fan, right?
I tell you what, I woke up today feeling dangerous. I love that answer. Baker Mayfield, come on down, because let me tell you, I would love to play some COD with you.
Well, it's probably been fun. You've got decades of failure, and now this is your year.
Yeah, people always ask me what's it like to wake up on Sundays, and I don't know. Well, this year, to see what all the excitement is about. But yeah, I mean, Baker, if you want to ever get carried in some COD, I'm your guy. I got you.
I'm not your guy, but I'll play with you. I'll be dual carried. But no, it's not only going to be Christine. We also have America's next top fitness model. We've got from the CWL is Douglas Sintzer Martin. How you doing, Doug?
I'm doing well, Clint. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. But
that's great, man. That's awesome,
man. I feel bad for you because you got Jack down there, don't you?
No, listen, man. I'm with the one and only Courage JD right now. So Courage, you've never played Call of Duty multiplayer before. You played the 2v2. You never played this multiplayer yet. I know you're not a competitor. I know you're a streamer full time. You're an entertainer. But this is a big deal. This is the multiplayer reveal. I know you want to put on a show. What are your expectations?
Doug, I have one of the highest earnings in the last Call of Duty game. If you check esportsearnings.com, I am absolutely a competitor, first off. Second, I'm ready to scream and get loud and have more people on Reddit saying, I don't play COD. But guess what? I've been playing since Call of Duty 3, and I'm going to show you the best classes you can have today. Look at this. In the creator classes, you can put 5 attachments per weapon. Do you hear that right now?
5 attachments.
I have AR class. I have SMG class. I have a precision rifle, like a marksman type rifle. I have a run and gun AR, and then I have a sniper SMG overkill quick swap class so that I can be the Pomage I want to be on the inside, but the Scumpy on the outside.
I just have one thing to say. I just literally 2 minutes ago, Jack was just helping out Doc over here with his settings. I don't know what he was doing. Something tells me that Jack has something up his sleeve. Clem, we're going to roll it back to you now.
I want to point out, Clint, before you take that, I actually helped Jack out with all of his classes.
Yeah, he had no idea what he was talking about.
No idea.
Wait, so all that bragging he just did about his classes, you did that?
So he looked at me and was like, what do I use? I was like, don't worry, Jack. We're friends. I got you.
I mean, we got to play a little bit yesterday.
Right,
You know,
right.
we got a couple of secrets, and it looked like you were helping him out.
Little tips and
He
tricks.
had no idea what he was talking about.
Not as much.
Well, yeah, that's it. I mean, it's going to be us 4, and we're going to have Christine and Sensor also helping us out. So thanks, guys. They'll be kind of getting feedback, chatting with the players over the course of the day. But it's time to get into it. I want to get into the gameplay. It's going to be the 6v6 gameplay we're going to be hopping into. I'm excited for this because what we went to 5v5 this year, we're now back to 6v6. I believe we're going to be starting out, it's going to be runner domination. So I'm sure most people are familiar with domination, but just at the basic level, Joe, talk to me about domination.
Yeah, domination, 3 flags, A, B, and C. You get points by capturing those flags. The more flags you have, the more points you get. And, well, you win the game by having all those flags and getting all of those points. So, yeah, I mean, everybody knows domination, but you want to get as many flags as possible.
Well, hopefully shortly here, the guys will be loaded up, and we've got a lobby full. We've got a ton of different games going on. I think we're going to be hopping kind of pod to pod to just show off different players throughout the course of this. Jack is just slugging energy drinks right now, hyping himself up. Jack, what are you saying now?
I turned down the game audio a little bit. Just a tad.
Whoever did the seating chart needs to be fired immediately.
The game looks great. It's beautiful. I really like that dark edition, and I'm not gonna buy it, but boy oh boy do I want it. This is super exciting. The class system, going back to the the attachments being 5 attachments and not doing the whole 10-point system. I love 10-point system's fine, but I love that they're expanding on that. Realisticness, everything that they're doing looks great. Love the weapons, love the kill streaks, love all that. I pretty much have been happy with, I think, everything I've seen for it so far today. I'm sure that we'll, as things go, maybe hear more about loot and in-game purchases and stuff. I know the season pass is gonna be free this time, which is awesome. Yeah, so all the add-on stuff should be coming. So I just wanted to say what I liked before we got into the gameplay, but now we're in the gameplay. So I've just wanted to watch this and talk about what I like and what people are thinking. So if you're watching this later, leave a comment, tell me what you like, what you liked about what they said, what you like about this gameplay, and yeah, please hit like, subscribe, hit the bell if you like what you see, and yeah, thanks for watching this, and yeah, now we're just gonna kind of go into watching this for a minute. See what loadouts are going. I love how quick the game feels.
Everything that's been added to this from a lighting standpoint, from what was it called, photography?
Sounds right.
You remember? I know, what was the word? Oh, I butchered the hell out of that. Photogrammy?
We'll go with that.
Okay, I don't think that's right either.
Either way,
And I love that.
taking pictures of pretty much everything and putting it into the game. That's absolutely incredible. I'm pretty sure I saw TP as well. He's on the other team, so we'll keep our eyes out for a team. But Shroud finally started to heat up. He started off with a sniper rifle, adjusted his settings, said, nah, it's not for me. Let me change things out. And obviously now
I love how snappy and quick the gameplay feels. It looks great.
TP just killed Shroud. That's now the highlight of TP's career.
And what's cool is when I saw Shroud, enter that building, there was a ledge there, and it gave him the option to mount his weapon. So now you can mount your AR, and it'll reduce that recoil, and you can kind of just lock down one lane with your AR mounted. So it's kind of a new thing they added to COD that we've never really seen before on your main AR that you can do.
I think that's going to stress really good tactical and lethal use. If you've got a solid player set up in a power position like that, it's going to be bananas to deal with.
And of course, let's not forget, at any point you can, hit start, go to your classes, and customize it in the game. So if there's, a certain player in a certain power position you want to try and get rid of, well, you can very quickly, if you wanted to, for example, put a sniper scope on an assault rifle, turn it to single fire, and bang, right there.
Man, that is awesome. I didn't know you could do that. If you didn't hear him, he said that you can adjust your weapons in the gameplay. So you can put a sniper scope on a like assault rifle and change it to a single fire to take out like one specific person, then swap it back to your standard assault rifle like build. That's awesome. That's the thing. I mean, this one feels so much more innovative than Call of Duty's been in a long time. I like the bigger level designs, like the tanks, like the the gunsmithing, and the gunsmithing in game is fantastic. I didn't even know that was going to be an option. I was excited with the gunsmithing before, I knew you could switch it in game, so that's amazing. That really adds a lot of variety and depth to single fights that just weren't there. It wasn't there before the gunsmithing was added. I like this lane play too. I feel like the lanes are better. I mean, that's my problem with Black Ops 4. Like, as much as I love Black Ops 4, it didn't, I don't know. I feel like some of your older maps that are in Black Ops 4, like, they feel okay, but, they're old now, and the game has changed, and they didn't do that much to change what they were. But then, your new maps, some of them are really good, like, I'm blanking on the name. The one with in the hills, like in the mountains. I mean, where you have that like plane hangar in the middle. I mean, like I always think that's a pretty good lane level and stuff. It has a lot of entrances and exits and stuff to the building and behind the building and in front of the building. But I just feel like a lot of your maps though aren't that good, in Black Ops. Like Villa, not Villa. Villa's not right. Villa's an old map. I am blanking on Black Ops maps names. But I mean that's kind of my point. I feel like I don't even know the Black Ops maps names that well because I didn't really care. I just haven't played it as much as I thought I was going to, and I'm disappointed. But I'm super excited about this. I think this looks great. I think Modern Warfare is going to be the game to beat. Oh man, do I pre-order it and get the open beta? I might.
After he destroyed me with it, and I just put every single attachment on my gun that would make me move faster, and it just felt amazing on the map being able to move so quick with that submachine gun.
That's the choice as well. We didn't really touch on it when we were talking about the kind of customization that you can go through, but there's a lot of pros and cons to pretty much everything. If you're going to get, for example, a little bit of help with vertical recoil, you're going to give something else up. Maybe it's ADS time, maybe it's movement speed.
When I was looking, pros and cons to everything. I think it's something. I think he said it in rehearsals yesterday. When I was talking to Jeff at Infinity Ward, he said, he's like a big MMO, like an RPG fan. He likes skill trees and all the stuff that goes into it. So it's kind of what they were thinking of with Gunsmith. You always have that kind of give or take with certain armor
That's so
pieces
cool.
that you would use in other games. And yeah, I was going through it and I was looking at the different stocks and different foregrounds. I'm like, all right, well, if I do this, I have to, so I sprint slower, but I zoom in faster. And if I do this, I was going through it. I thought it's awesome. Just the amount of potential there is for variety.
Well, we're just so used to what does a grip do, right? It reduces recoil, lets you aim in a little bit quicker. But as you say, there's different stocks now that might help you, zoom in a little bit quicker, but it'll slow you down. There's all these different options. It'll just be so fun releases at beta, like how players want to play with each weapon.
Yeah, there was like a stock, and it's like if you want to reduce idle
Yeah, I'm loving this gameplay. I'm super pumped about this game.
You know, I enjoyed sort of the aspect of just creating my class and trying to figure out if I want to be fast with this gun or if I want to slow down. Like, when I'm using the M4, am I going to be in a power position? Okay, so on this map, that's what I'm going to make.
And again, I think one of the keys, just to kind of reiterate, is you're going to come into those situations in a game, right? You create your class and you think, oh, I wish I'd, could maybe be a little bit quicker. Change it in the game. It's as simple as just hitting start.
You have to be quick. You have to be quick with that.
Well, yeah, but either way, if you know what you want to change, it's relatively simple to do so.
TP's going off right now. Did you guys see that?
So what are his stats?
17 and 5 from
TP. I just can't play with Nameless again. The guy started at 9-0 yesterday. How many times do we hear about it throughout the course of the night?
One thing we talk about
it's because you were attacking me, so I had to. you kept killing me.
I think Clint, one thing you
All right,
from your own personal experience with TP.
Oh. Oh yeah, it looks great. I love the game. Looks fantastic. Super pumped. Yeah, looks great. Well, thank you all for watching. Hope you all are excited about Call of Duty. Please, again, if you liked what you saw, consider subscribing. I'm Komodo. And, yeah, thanks. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one. Later, guys.